I want to have another talk about something that is well known and very, very common for us human beings in the world, and that's called stress. Everybody goes through stress, you feel me? And I want to talk about stress and how to deal with stress. Everybody deals with stress in their own way. There's many different ways how to cope with stress and how to deal with stress. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them 50-50. Me personally, how I deal with my stress, I honestly just talk to myself. I keep it a solid butt. I actually just like mentally have a conversation with myself. I don't never really speak it out loud or anything like that. I mentally have like two-sided. So a brain has two sides. One side is talking about my problems, and the other side try to have like a communication to understand what's happening and how can I deal with this. You know, that's my personal take on how I deal with my stress. No matter if it's work, no matter if it's life that's going on around me, no matter if it's like dealing with people, whatever the case may be, I have that mental conversation with myself at all times. If I'm like partying or some shit like that and I'm intoxicated or whatnot, then that's slightly different because I'm blunt and honest when I'm intoxicated. I keep it a solid buck. If I see something that irritates me, I'll call it out. I don't give a shit. You got a problem, we throw them haymakers, you hear me? But most of the time, 95% of the time, I always have that conversation to myself. And I think about it very, very deeply, very deeply and very strongly because my brain thinks about almost anything and everything on every single outcome I can honestly think of. Because I can act upon something that I don't like, or I could just be calm and calmly address the issue. Then I can escalate it if needed, or if it's something that hits me very, very hard and I need about a couple of days to think about what's going on, or take about 30 minutes just to get the right words to come out my mouth without coming out saying it in a certain way or a certain demeanor, that too. And that sometimes help a lot of people who comes down with stress as well. You feel me? So there are so many different ways how to cope around with stress and emotions, because it's like the human brain can feel, the heart and the human brain can think and feel anything and everything, and I will always have to have the connection with people about this type of things, because not every day is going to be roses and daisies, money and party. There's going to be days where you can be stressed the fuck out. You feel me? There's days you can be mad. There's days you can be upset. There's days you just want to be left the fuck alone. You feel me? And I feel like that is something that is really meaningful to talk about, because it's one of the most infamous things that humans in the world that never really talk about it, but really should talk about it. Because somebody can be stressed out of their mind, probably mortgages due, they probably gone through a divorce, they probably dealing with child support, they probably out in the streets, somebody probably died in their family, this the type of shit that people go through and it's hard to cope with, you know? And I always would like to have that type of conversation with the people out there in the world because it's relatable. And guess what? If you're relatable and you're taught, you like, if you're relatable and you know how to talk to people, guess what? People like you. Y'all talk about your problems, or talk about your situations together. I give you my advice, you give me advice, and we move along because we got that connection. You heard me. So, if you want to take my advice on how to deal with stress, have a mental conversation with yourself. Do that for starters, and you see how that goes. If it doesn't work for you, that's 100% fine. If it does, let me know. Let me know how that mental conversation in your head is going for you. If you need anything at all, you know who to go to. Because we family. WSA, we family in this bitch. Alright?